Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dan, the voice behind ThatKaitoDan, and welcome to the World of Remnant for the first one of Volume 4, this time on the topic of Vale. So yeah, this came right out of nowhere. I didn't expect this, we all didn't expect this, but the first episode of this volume's World of Remnants has come out and it's on Vale. Just a quick thing before we get started. Obviously, this is the first time I'm going to be actually recording my reactions to these World of Remnants, as well as doing an analysis. And also, I want to update you guys on what my schedule is going to be like in regards to Volume 4 moving forward. So, as you all know, the content comes out first through Rooster Teeth first, and then it gets a public release on the Rooster Teeth site the day after, and then next week on YouTube is when it's out for everyone. The way my videos are going to be uploaded now is they will only come out on the RT side public release. So I won't put out any kind of spoilery or any kind of first locked content until it is out on the public release on Rooster Teeth's site. It's just fair to everyone else who, like me, is also a first member, as also it's just fair to Rooster Teeth in that sense. And in regards to future World of Remnant videos like this one, it's going to be reaction first, and then we're going to cut to my more better looking 2D self for all the analysis afterwards when I've had another rewatch of everything, just to make sure that I've got everything clear as much as I can. So with that being said, it's the first time we're going to have a World of Remnant for this volume, and it's the first time we're going to hear Vic Mignogna as Crow doing it as well this time, not Ozpin. But, headphones on, it's time to get into this. So we're going to begin in 3, 2, 1. RWBY, World of Remnant. Oh my god, it's almost here. We're so close now to RWBY Volume 4, my god. Vale.
Well, school's definitely out.
Too right.
Let's see if we can't all learn a little something.
It feels good to hear Vegas Crow again. Let me just turn my volume up.
World of Remnant. Not the best place to live, but depending on where you're staying, it can get a little easier.
All the kingdoms and the capitals.
You've got towns and villages that pop up as fast as they fall.
Villages on the Dragon Island.
The faunas have menagerie. Sweet spots are Vale, Mistral, Atlas, and Baku.
Yep.
The four kingdoms.
They're not highlighting the Dragon Land, but they had little like house icons on it. Interesting.
Let's talk about Vale.
I wonder if we're going to get World of Remnants on all the other kingdoms as well.
It rests on the northeastern end of the world's largest continent, Sunus.
Did he just say a continent name? Sunus? What? I'm going to have to go back and listen to that because it sounded like Sunus or Solus. The mountains into Mountain Glen and the waterfront.
Not to say I haven't heard some crazy fish stories.
Is that hinting to Sea-Based Grim? Because come on, we all want to see Sea-Based Grim.
The Vale territory also extends to several neighboring cities.
So there are cities outside of Vale, the capital, that can thrive. Patch!
Raise a family.
Raise a family.
That sort of thing.
Oh god.
All attempts
Happier times on Patch, I guess.
Reach past the mountains and farther into the mainland.
And there goes Mountain Glen.
But, like I said, in the grand scheme of things, Vale ain't half bad. Regular climate.
I would like to live in Vale, honestly, myself.
And some serious border defenses means the citizens of Vale can spend less time worrying about survival.
Until things went to crap in Volume 3.
Of course, with the fall of Beacon.
See?
Everyone's a little more worried these days.
Too right.
And they should be.
It wouldn't be a World of Remnant video without some kind of foreboding message at the end. So yeah, it was short, but I think that was kind of fair. I'm definitely going to have to go back and rewatch this, especially on that continent name. I want to see if I can catch that again, because I couldn't quite hear what he said, but it sounded like Solus or Sunus or something like that. Anyway, we're going to cut now to the analysis part, so over to 2D Dan. Hello again folks, and welcome to the analysis portion of the video. So first things first, let's talk about our new narrator for this side project. I said it before that I think Crow's a wise pick to follow on after Ozpin's take last volume, and I welcome the approach that they went for, with Crow's snarky humour added in a little bit more flavour than previously. Jen Taylor in Volume 2 brought mystique in her speech, but it did come with a lot of not really clear-cut information. Ozpin was more clearer, even with some air of concern and caution, but with Crow, he's a tad more charismatic and blunt. He flat out opens with a mention of school being out, but it's still time to learn a few things, obviously referring to the fall of Beacon. It's an approach that I like since it does keep things a little bit more expressive than just giving us information and things to debate on and beyond that. Crow is a smart guy, a savvy person on much to do in or with the world, and he is a teacher at Signal. So while he's more known for his bluntness or for his drinking, it still feels natural to have him as the voice behind these info drops. Props to Vic and the team for this switch up being fitting as well as also well narrated. But onto the topic itself, I also welcome that Vale was the first kingdom to get a focus like this, if we are to expect that the other kingdoms will follow suit. And it's logical why it was a short episode as well. Vale has been the major setting for up to 3 volumes now. It's the kingdom that we're most familiar with. Better off shown now before the show starts rolling than during the volume's run, where the focus should be on newly explored kingdoms and beyond. So while it is a short video, I didn't fault its topic choice. Now, when Crow mentions how some people try to get on in this crazy world, we see icons of villages pop up on the many landmasses, including the nameless dragon-shaped land in the northwest, which does seem to say that while nothing is known about that land and its exact information, people do live there, and even try to expand and form towns and villages, despite its overall poor success rate. I know many in the fandom speculate that that land is home to Salem, but it's nice to know that it does have some form of population, regardless of what else makes it home there. We also hear more on the land to the southeast, called Menagerie, the land noted in the past as where humans once tried to forcibly relocate all the Faunus, which of course was met with retaliation. But Crow mentions the Faunus having that land in a current day tone, and that likely means that despite its rocky past, some Faunus do make Menagerie their home. In fact, it could easily be a largely Faunus-based community with that phrasing. Though if it's also a good place for humans, we don't know. But with this angle, why do I imagine now that that could be where Blake is heading off to? We saw her in the character short overlooking a body of water at a dock. Maybe it's at Menagerie, or at least Blake is heading that way. It could be the cat faunus wanting to escape everything by being with more of her kind, people who won't judge her as she tries to rebuild herself post Adam's actions at Beacon, as well as a place to reignite her cause for equality for all. It's speculation, I know, but it does feel more plausible with this notion. But in Crow's words, the best places to live in are the 4 kingdoms that we know of as Vale in the center, Mistral to the east, Vacuo in the west, and Atlas to the north. Again, no mention of the Dragonland in the northwest, by the way. The focus goes on to Vale itself, and we get word on the first mention by name of a continent in this world, though sadly without any official transcript, I don't know exactly what it's called or how to spell it or even say it. It kinda sounded like the word saunas but without the last A. Without that official word, I can't get a read on its origin, but it's cool to hear more world building like this. It's simple, but it helps this world feel more developed, and of course helps the fanfic writers and OC makers out a treat. The main city, also called Vale, is notably well protected by its natural borders, a common theme that's helped the major cities of each kingdom withstand grim onslaught. For Vale, it has steep mountains in the front, as well as an open sea to its back, which Crow teases the only real threat there could be some wild fish stories being true. Water-based grim, anyone? We also hear that Vale isn't the only thriving city in the kingdom, but there are in fact smaller, neighbouring cities that run along the northwest coastline, giving us solid confirmation that even though it isn't supported by the same defences as the capital, some cities can manage, unlike many smaller ones that we've been informed of in the past. These capable cities also include the island to the west that we know of as Patch, which Crow warmly notes is a nice place to raise a family. Obviously, this is referring to his nieces Ruby and Yang being raised there by Crow's fellow teammates, Summer, his brother-in-law Taiyang, and his sister Raven in various degrees. A nice touch given Crow's affiliation. The mention of the mountains also calls back to the kingdom's plans of trying to expand their land here, failing miserably with the Mountain Glen project, so we can still expect that most of the land is still less than favourable for living conditions without the right protection and landscape. But Vale does seem favourable. A decent climate, good location amongst many smaller livelihoods, and these natural and man-made protective aspects helping the people live safer lives. But it wouldn't be a World of Remnant video without some dark foreboding to what may lie ahead, especially with the fall of Beacon. These defenses may be pushed to the limits in the days to come. So yeah, while not the most jam-packed in regards to brand new information, there is still some noteworthy parts to an overall decent opener. It was a simple return to the content with a basic topic that still opened up some speculative doors, with things like the sea-based Grim Teas, more confirmation on life outside the major city, and even sections that affected more than just Vale, like continent names, and Menagerie's current standing in the world getting a little bit more clearer. But what do you guys think about this first World of Remnant for the new volume? Were you happy with it? Did you want more? What do you think about what I brought up, and did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, be sure to check out my other videos on RWBY and more, like and fave the video if you did, subscribe and click on the little bell to know when new content from yours truly is out, and follow me on Twitter at ThatKaitoDan for more on RWBY, future content, and more. Until next time though, have a good day or good night, and peace.